Oh, and it's live, baby. We are live with the new Curio page from collectorarthouse.com. Here it is, guys. Wait, let me type it in. www.collectorarthouse.com. And I'll just go / Curio cards. All right. So we are live with the. Oh, and Paco is an admin too. I guess he could have done that too. So collectorarthouse.com Curio cards. We're going to open up our first box of Gothic ever. And we just launched a new Sorcery Curio cards page. You see how the energy went up a notch? Because we went from Alpha to Gothic. This is the debut of Gothic. Amazing. Sorcery Curio cards. A Curio card is an extremely rare chase card found in Sorcery booster packs. These cards are often nods to previous card designs, alternate artworks and treatments, and sometimes subtle details barely noticed by the untrained eye. The company does not acknowledge the existence of these cards, and they cannot be found on any official website or listed for sale on third-party sites such as TCG Player. Below lists a comprehensive gallery of all known Curio cards and the history behind them. All right, so we got 73 people in the stream. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Please spread the word in the Discord. So we are now getting into the Gothic segment of the show. We're going to talk about 4 new Gothic Curio card discoveries. We're at collectorarthouse.com / Curios. You go over to Collector's Corner, and in the sub-menu, Curio cards. This page launches, and now you have the 4 galleries. We now have 4 sets in Sorcery. We don't know there to be any Curio cards. Oh, Jesse painting. I'll do that next, dude. Please, thank you, though. Thank you for reminding me. We're going to do the Jussie Pilkus original painting showcase in a moment. So, Alpha, Beta, Arthurian Legends, Gothic. All the Curios are here fully profiled. Beneath that, we have the origins of what is the Curio. What was it designed conceptually to be for the Alpha debut? From the Kickstarter, there you have all the details, where you find it in the packs, at least from Alpha. And it's similar going forward so far, as we know. Several deep dive articles with all the details of the Curios. But you start up here, you click any of the buttons, and you go to the next page. You find the gallery of all of the different Curios. If I want to know about the Gridlord Sorcerer, I click that. I find a beautiful little blurb about what that is. And really, the best one, perhaps, is the 9-piece, where we have a comprehensive capture of all 9 elements of the 9-piece and insights from the artist or the historical development that I did from talking with Erica Olofsson, scouring social media, the official Sorcery Facebook page, the business page, their official Discord, talking to employees, talking to artists, all the details of all the Curios, beautifully formatted, redesigned by Agent Paco. Thank you very much. Amazing work. Much more discoverable and user-friendly environment. You can go forward, backward, go back to the main page in a couple clicks. And here we are at the main page, Gothic Curios. Here we go. All right. 4 Gothic Curios discovered today. You're right. The 4th I completely forgot was the Realm Eater. All right. So we have the City of Glass, the City of Glass, the Fallen Angel, the Realm Eater, and the Manor at Dapperville Hill. Let's take them in order. So the City of Glass, we're at the Gothic Curio Gallery page. All right. So I'm going to pop that in there, and let's go with that link. So you guys have the direct link there, and you can dig into this after the show, whenever you'd like. Here we go. CollectorArthouse.com, Curio Gothic, City of Glass. Our first Curio discovery in Sorcery. This is a translucent card. City of Glass is a playable card in the Gothic set with artwork by Elvira Palakowska. The regular version is playable. And it also has a special Star City Games exclusive promo alternate art by artist Adam Burke. The Curio sees a third interpretation with a city literally made to look like glass. This is a plastic card, not glass. That would be weird. You can't put glass in a pack, but it is translucent and has both a front and a back. Attaches a video to see the refraction in action. Pun intended. So there you have it, guys. Refraction in action. And you see it's translucent. Can you see? I will be posting video shorts of the new Curio discoveries, and you guys will see the magnificent refraction of the light, the translucency of the plastic card, and how it comes to life in almost like a stained glass kind of way. But I talked to Elvira Palikowska tonight. Elvira was trained as an architect at the Warsaw Faculty of Architecture. Her experience includes book and game illustrations, environment concepts, and product designs with traditional media and digital techniques. In Sorcery, she has contributed many painting illustration concepts that draw on her architectural experience, which is the hallmark of her artistic style. City of Glass is a beautiful concept that fully showcases Elvira's talents. The Curio variant seems to draw on the idea of architectural design and building development, right? It's not complete. It's translucent. It's the construction, the design, the framing, and the construction, the building of the beautiful City of Glass, and the literal theme of a city of glass with its translucent nature. Here is the concept, first ever seen concept sketch by Elvira Palikowska. And let me pull down the comments so you guys can see that. So this is the sketch. You'll have to go to the site. You'll be able to see it much better. The detailed architectural drawing concept sketch from the architect, the artist, Elvira Palikowska. And Elvira provided some color to further explain the concept. So this is a quote from Elvira giving me information about how this came to be. So here's the brief that Eric gave me, meaning Elvira. City of Glass, a one-liner from Eric. Always a one-liner, which gives the artist complete artistic freedom to go execute it in their own vision, right? So this is the simple direction that Eric gave as the art director. City of Glass, see-through. He needs to see through Gothic buildings. No need for there to be people in the illustration, but it is also fine to have them in there if you want to. He asked for a see-through Gothic building. Go wild, Elvira. You want to put people on there? Go ahead. You don't want to? Do whatever you want, right? A one-liner. The concept was pretty straightforward. This is Elvira talking again. The concept is pretty straightforward, a group of Gothic buildings seen from below. I decided to add a few people in to bring in some color, but also to make the scene more engaging and spark the viewer's imagination. The technical side, though, was much more challenging because of the complex geometry and the almost monochromatic palette. That's the end of the quote from Elvira. And I go on to say it's a remarkable work. I thank Elvira for her insights and profound contributions to this beautiful project. So here is the final painting, first ever seen, Collector Art House, live stream, Gothic Showcase Celebration, Elvira Palikowska. The original painting, I did talk to her a bit more after this, and I was like, the color here is interesting. Why did you add these like orange blotches or aspects of abstract color across the piece? And she said she did that to really highlight the translucency of the building itself. By adding some color, it gives you that perspective of translucency in that aerial or that bottoms up viewpoint of the City of Glass. So amazing work. You have also the figures in the building are in color too. So you don't really fully appreciate it until you get the transparent plastic card. We believe that's a Curio. There's been a few discovered already. So the pull rate seems so far at least a little higher than the other Curios. But a magnificent finding. First of its kind to my knowledge. I've never seen a card like that in a TCG. So really brilliant idea, drawing on the idea of the architect, Elvira Palikowska. Amazing. A lot of fun. A lot of flavor. All right, that's Sorcery. It's unique. It's innovative. It's brilliant creatively. Next, we have Fallen Angel. So Fallen Angel, it's a Curio discovery. All right. So here is Fallen Angel from Scott Kirshner. Fallen Angel, an exceptional angel cast off its grace. Airborne, nearby allied minions have +1 power. So this, what's interesting about this? It looks like a regular card, right? You got to be looking for it. You wouldn't know that it's a Curio because it's a playable card, right? But there's an alternate art. There's an alternate art version. I'm reacting to the chat. Fallen Angel is a playable card in the core Gothic set. This Curio features an alternate artwork by Scott Kirshner. Scott depicts an angel falling from grace, quite literally, losing its halo and descending into hell. When Scott Kirshner was commissioned for this piece, it followed the normal commissioning process with game founder and art director Eric Olofsson. So I got these insights by talking to Scott. I talked to Scott tonight, and I was like, dude, tell me about the Fallen Angel. And he told me about the concept. He said it was just like a normal commission, just like all the others he did for the set. And he's done several for this set. It's really exciting. We're going to discover some in the box in a moment. He says, Scott did not know it was destined to be a Curio card. He actually had no idea what rarity level would be at all. It's just a normal commission. There's another core set version of Fallen Angel with artwork by Gerald Brom. It is quite common in Sorcery. This is me talking and giving perspective here. It is quite common in Sorcery that art with the same title was licensed or commissioned from more than one artist, or in other cases, the use case for the art evolved over time. In this situation, it is presumed that Eric loved both the Brom artwork and Kirshner's version and decided Kirshner's would work well for the special Curio use case. So Scott was gracious enough to share the art direction from Eric and images of this full art concept and a picture of the painting for the Collector Art House and for fans. So here was Eric's art direction. Short, sweet, simple, one-liner, right to the point. A ragged angel curled up in a crater where it would have landed rather violently. A ragged angel curled up in a crater where it would have landed rather violently. And there is first ever seen full art, full painting scan of the Fallen Angel artwork by Scott Kirshner. All right. And now an image of the actual original painting. This is the painting itself by Scott. So thank you very much, Scott Kirshner, Elvira Palakowska, for giving us both of those. Really exciting curios. Really awesome. So keep an eye out for that one. You're going to find a Brom Fallen Angel, which is a Guardians card, an artwork that was licensed for Guardians. And now there's many of those that are resurfacing in Gothic. All right. So our next curio from Gothic is Realm Eater Sketch, right? So you guys know this one if you've been following the game for any period of time. As legend has it, as Eric was traveling from New Zealand to Australia to go to the event in Australia, he made an appearance at an event they were having. And on the plane, he designed this concept for an avatar called Realm Eater. And it was kind of funny because it looked like like a real meter or something, right? There's like a meme, like joke version of it. So they did Realm hyphenated Eater sketch. And he sketched this on a card on the plane. And this is the Curio version of Realm Eater. His actual sketch that he did manifests as a Curio in the set, Realm Eater. Your avatar devours the world and attack. Tap, move to an empty site and attack. Maybe that's part of the mechanic. It provides no mana and in silence. Gain 1 power. Tap, player draw a site. So there is the Realm Eater first sketch Curio, not done by an artist, but by Eric the artist, I suppose, right? This was the actual one that he did on the plane from New Zealand to Australia. So it's like on a regular piece of paper, just kind of like a square postcard or something, right? Note card. And then this is the one you're going to find. This is one that has been discovered in the box. It was leaked early. We found the details. And I basically summarized, so I won't recap, but I have a little blurb there of basically what I said, that's the origin. It was fully profiled in a video that the company put out on their official YouTube. So Realm Eater, pretty awesome one. And now this was the actually first one ever discovered in Gothic, the Manor at Dapperville Hill. So a Melissa Benson artwork. Wait a second now. So Melissa Benson, right? Look at this card. You're going to find one that has that artwork, right? That same artwork in a normal treatment. This is a foil Curio card. So it has a foiling technique to it. You see how it's very vibrant? You could tell it's foiling. This is the actual card. It's actually discovered Curio from Gothic already. A stunning, beautiful work of art. It has all these very interesting, flavorful dynamics to it. In the regular card, you're going to find none of this additional text, right? It's a lot more straightforward. This is an actual real card, a site in the card in its regular version. And now in this foil Curio version, you have all these additional details about the French vineyard, the 666, obviously, Gothic, the Gothic gargoyles. That's part of the art, the basic art. It says Eric's Curiosa, art at Melissa Benson. So here's the beauty of this, guys, that I haven't heard anyone talk about or reveal just yet. You can hear for the first time. What have you noticed about every set? Every set, they make it a point to incorporate Eric's Curiosa, the namesake of the company, in some way. We had the legendary Eric's Curiosa sketch card Curio, the regular card, and the foil variant all in alpha. We go to beta. They joke that there's one less card, right? One less card in beta than there was in alpha. That one less card is Eric's Curiosa. It was removed from the core set as a non-foil and foil, and it was included only as a Curio, which technically doesn't exist, right? Curios don't exist. So that's how they get Eric's Curiosa into beta. And now here we are with the next major breakthrough set, Gothic, first major core set, and you have an Eric's Curiosa card in a way. They very prominently featured the name of the company, Eric's Curiosa. A unique site, Appalachian Highlands Controllee, Dapperville produced 26 fluid ounces. Eric's Curiosa. Art by Melissa Benson. It's an amazing looking, super interesting, flavorful, and creative way to introduce Eric's Curiosa into Gothic. Really clever, really fun, I think. The Manor at Dapperville Hill is a playable card in the Gothic expansion. The regular version of this one doesn't have the mechanics to be playable per se. Here's the interesting thing. So, chicken and the egg. Was this art concept from my idea that I've been pumping for the past 2 years? If you go, I'm going to take you to the Sorcery community Facebook group in a moment, and we're going to talk about this Keith Parkinson artwork, right? Look at the Melissa Benson artwork. Take it in. Capture that in your mind, right? Because then I'm going to go to this Keith Parkinson artwork. Who is Keith Parkinson? A great, brilliant artist who died too young. He passed away, unfortunately. In all of the sets, Eric pays homage to legendary artists. In Alpha, we had Frank Frazetta. In Arthurian Legends, we had Quentin Hoover for the first time. Oh, and by the way, in Alpha, we had Gerald Brom as the throwback, big, iconic, high-profile Alpha Curio, which I showed you the original painting for early in the show. So we had Brom, we had Frank Frazetta in Alpha. In Arthurian Legends, we go to Quentin Hoover. Now, I said Gothic. Gothic's got to have Keith Parkinson. You love Guardians, right? Let's make Guardians come to life in Gothic. And what do we have? We have tons of Gothic cards, or tons of Gerald Brom cards, tons of Guardians cards. Guardians work that was done by Gerald Brom in Guardians that was now licensed for use once again in Gothic. And what is awesome about Guardians? Keith Parkinson, the mastermind behind Guardians, who pulled together all these great artists. Gerald Brom, Plug, Den, and there was I'm missing someone. What's the guy's name? John Rothrock. If you're still out there, let me know, man. The guy that did the pirate on the Captain Morgan bottle. I'm gonna regret it later. I couldn't think of it on the cuff. But these great artists, Keith Parkinson is the artistic director, the artistic mastermind, and now Eric Olson is the artistic director, the artistic mastermind. He loves Guardians. He manifests Guardians through the licensing of Brom artwork. And now Don Mites, that's it. Thank you very much, man. It was Don Mites. He did the logo for the Captain Morgan bottle. And here it is. I think it was based on this artwork by Keith Parkinson. That's my theory. Does that look like it? Is that... I've talked to some people and they say, like, these Gothic gargoyles, these building structures like this, a lot of the old manors in Europe and UK and stuff and France look like this. So maybe not. But to me, this was the amazing Gothic artwork from Keith Parkinson, the icon from Guardians that is now manifesting in Gothic. And if you go to the Facebook community Facebook group, let me see. I'm going to go to the Facebook community Facebook group, right? Sorcery community Facebook group. And I'm going to do a search here for Keith Parkinson, right? To give you some backstory on this. All right. So I was talking about this recently. There's Keith Parkinson. Who did this painting? Den. The guy who painted for Guardians. There's a beautiful tribute, honoring the past October 26, 2005, 20 years ago, 20-year anniversary this year. So the 20-year anniversary of his passing, 2005, guys, we get Sorcery Contested Realm Gothic. I believe this is a direct homage to Keith Parkinson. Sorcery, Eric, they don't talk about curios. So they're not going to validate that theory. They're not going to tell us. Maybe, hopefully they'll tell us quietly, right? But in my mind, I think it's a beautiful, touching tribute. on the 20-year anniversary of losing Keith Parkinson, do we have a beautiful tribute to this amazing work of art. All right. So let me go down. Let me see if I find it. So posts, let me see if I could sort by me still. No. So I'm going to go to date posted 2024. That'll help narrow it down. So I talked about this. You see, I talked about Keith Parkinson several times because I love Guardians. And now I'm really excited. There's a lot of Guardians work. Here you go, guys. All right. So January 18, 2024. This is my post in the Sorcery Contest Realm community group, my baby that I nurtured and grew all these years, right? For the past 4 years. The Gerald Brom Death Speaker Curio card has become one of the top iconic curios in Alpha. In the follow-up beta set, largely a reprint, all curios discovered so far have been, remember, this was January 2024. This was after beta came out. Arthurian Legends was not out yet. So far in beta, let me see. The following beta set, all curios discovered so far have been from the mainstream core sorcery artist. In other words, no surprise artists he didn't have cards in the core set, so no Gerald Brom type artist, right? And I love that. But I also think this type of curio, a surprise inclusion from a legendary artist, really hits hard and is very exciting. The illustration for the Brom curio is from Keith Parkinson's Guardians TCG. That's where the Alpha Brom came from, right? That artwork. Perhaps a surprise inclusion from Keith Parkinson's portfolio would be a fitting follow-up on this theme for a rumored Angels and Demons set. So in January 2024, there was rumors that we'd have an Angels and Demons set. Of course, the name wasn't finalized, and it ended up being Gothic, and we're going to discover that tonight. But this is us talking about it in January 2024. And perhaps surprise artist curio category could be reinvoked for the Arthurian Legends set. What does the community think? Do you think, I'm asking the community here in the community group, do you like this curio category concept of a homage to the fantasy great arts? The fantasy art greats, Brom, Frazetta, etc. This was before we knew about Quentin Hoover and Arthurian Legends. So clearly Eric liked this, and he perpetuated it in Arthurian Legends, and perhaps maybe now in Gothic. I think it's perfectly on brand for an art project of this magnitude. Preserve the great tradition of hand-painted art while honoring the legends who inspired and influenced the current great artists of sorcery. Here is Keith's The Temple of Elemental Evil. Seems incredibly fitting for an Angels and Demons set with several stylistic parallels to several other core sorcery artists and current pieces in Alpha and Beta. Find a way to license this piece, Eric. At least, please continue this curio category. Quentin Hoover came next. To honor the legends of fantasy arts, rich history, and educate emerging art enthusiasts who are pouring into your game. It's our game, the community's game, right? Many of which are starting to really appreciate the artwork on a whole new level for the first time after many years in TCGs. Come on, do it. Come on, do it. I think he did it, guys. I think he did it, honestly. That's it. Is that not it? So look at this card, the concept. The gargoyles at the gate, right? And then the manor. And now look at the Keith Parkinson piece. It's comparable, right? Am I insane? Maybe I'm a megalomaniac. I don't know. I love it. I think it's amazing. Yeah, we got it. I don't know if Donna Parkinson will know, John, because Melissa Benson did this work. We got to ask Melissa what the artistic direction was for it. But yeah, I love this one for those reasons. I think this beautiful work of art by Melissa Benson. So thank you, Agent Paco, for the redesign of this amazing Gothic Curio Gallery and the entire Curio collection here at collectorarthouse.com in the Curio Cards section under Collector's Corner. You find all of the curios from every set. Found 4 already on opening day, 4 curios.